Point Blank is a music production school based in London and now in LA, and we also have an online school. So I think the role of Point Blank is to help speed up the process for somebody who wants to learn the production tips. If you learn by yourself, you get distracted a lot by making a lot of mistakes and not always understanding why it's not quite working out as you had planned. You know, you've got this sound in your head and you're like, oh, my mix is not quite sounding like this artist mix. So what we provide at Point Blank is making sure we keep students on track and get them to the essential skills straight away. And that, I think, is a huge gain of time.
I have loads of students that come in and think they know everything because they've watched loads of tutorials, but they're actually confused by the tutorials. They're working with very advanced techniques that they have no idea of how to use. A lot of students wouldn't even know how to push a fader up and use a pan pot, and then they're starting to use dynamic EQ. So it's like, there's a lot of information on the internet, which is great for people to learn, but when you start from the beginning, sometimes you end up looking at things at the end and it can confuse you. So I think Point Blank offers a very direct, structured learning course. Each week we do a different subject, and by the end they start getting it and putting it all together themselves, and the penny drops. You can see when the moment is that the penny drops, and yeah, it really helps them, whereas looking at tutorials endlessly just confuses them.
The ethos at Point Blank really roots within the music industry. All the tutors have lots of experience in the music industry, made a lot of records, or have worked in labels, or are labels owners, are sound engineers, are music producers, songwriter. Everybody has had, I would say, a little bit of success within the industry. Therefore, we are able to pass on that experience to students.
Monitoring is critical to what I do, so especially when you're mixing, you want to make sure that you've got the truest sound that you've got, so you can relax on your mix. You're not having to think about, oh, this monitor's showing me something, and I have to think otherwise for it. So yeah, true monitoring is critical to mixing, as well as recording as well. So yeah, what I do is critical, having a monitor that I trust.
Monitors that are too hyped and too nice sounding in a control room are, for me, pretty much useless, because you can't make any decisions. Everything sounds great, so you end up probably not doing too much, assuming that it sounds absolutely great, and then you take it outside, and that's when suddenly you've got a reality shock. And it's like, okay, it's not quite as it sounded in the studio.
I noticed with the ADAMs, there was a lot more scope on the actual stereo width of the actual monitoring. I really like the idea of the actual stereo positioning. I noticed that the ribbon tweeters just helped. Yeah, the stereo field was really wide and very detailed. You could actually hear things where other monitors might lump them in set places.
What happened at the end of the distribution line is something else, but you've got to ensure this is where you work, this is where you make decisions, so monitoring is absolutely essential.
A lot of these students come in, they've been DJing, they've listened to other people's records, they've got to that frustration point and they thought, I want to do this myself. They're then after 3 months able to do that themselves, so they're then able to mix a track, play it out, and it would sound the same as the records before and afterwards.
There's a trend at the moment which is coming back a little bit to hardware. The modular synth, the kind of hands-on, the performance aspect of it. And that I love, I think is great. You know, we do an electronic music performance course, and last week they had set up a huge table with lots of controllers and analog synth and a little Moog modular system, and it was great, and they were playing it and trying to sync it and all jamming it, a little bit like you used to do with maybe somebody playing percussion, guitar, singing, or, you know, it was great to see. It was really, really good. So that's the part that excites me the most, I think.